Did you know President Trump changed the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America? President Trump signed an executive order to rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. Although it was a controversial move, name change is reflected on maps and in the U.S. Geographic Name Information System. Let's get into the history. Gulf of Mexico was formed millions of years ago, and its name has a few chapters in history. First people to settle the land was Native Americans and became a major trade route. And they developed amazing cultures. Some even built huge cities and stone buildings. Take a second and think about that. A skyscraper before you even knew what a skyscraper was. The natives referred to it as Seno Mexicano, which means Mexican Gulf in Spanish. They thought of the Gulf to be a part of Mexico. There were a bunch of tribes that were living around the Gulf of Mexico. Some of the bigger or more well-known ones include the Calusa, the Karancara, and the Atacapa. These tribes had the most fascinating cultures and really knew how to make a way of life on the Gulf. Those are literally a whole nother story, so if y'all like to learn about them, let me know down in the comments. Native tribes of the Gulf Coast thrived for thousands of years, developing complex societies and adapting to coastal environments. However, the arrival of Europeans in the 16th century had a devastating effect on these tribes. European diseases, warfare, and forceful removal led to a sharp decline in the native populations. The Gulf of Mexico has had plenty of names throughout its history. Natives had their own names for the body of water, but they weren't recorded by European settlers. The first European name for the Gulf was Mar del Sur, which was given by Spanish explorers in the 1600s. The name Gulf of Mexico came into use in the 18th century. Back in 2019, the 45th President of the United States signed an executive order to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. The stated reason for the renaming was to give credit to Americans who also contributed to the development of the Gulf and its regions. However, the renaming was met by criticism by many others. The renaming was never implemented. The Gulf of Mexico is still known by its original name. That means everybody but President Trump ain't calling it that. With that being said, you tapped in with G Light, and now you know what I know. Peace.